Welcome, everyone. We've been gone for at least a week, maybe even two. But when it's Sunday, we are free talking because we're on Free Talk with Mr. B. We wrapped up part of our book, The Art of Giving Back, and the nuggets therein, and decided to start season 4 with a discussion about how much money do we have, how much money do we need even to give back. And so, with everyone coming on, Miss Mia is here, Miss Dedra is here, our whole team is here. And we're so
Hello.
hi. We're so excited to have
How's
everyone back.
everybody?
Hi. And welcome to our season 4 session, the other half of Free Talk with Mr. B's book, The Art of Giving Back and the Nuggets therein. Samina?
Yes, first of all, thank you so much, everyone, for agreeing to be here on time today. And we managed through whatever we are busy with, throughout the day. And Sunday is a difficult day here because the next day is the week starting, even in the UAE now. Otherwise, yes, as you mentioned, Mr. B, we are here to discuss how rich one needs to be to give back. So in a bit, we will be hearing from everyone on that. And what I would like to say that giving makes one richer. I think so. And how you become richer is by realize each time we give, we realize the value of happiness for ourselves and for others as well. So I think you're adding into that richness as a human being, as a personality, not just by way of money. So with this, I'd like to hear all of our perspectives. Yes, Professor Mia, let's start with you. What do you think about? I think she's dropped off.
She's
So
dropped off online. And so we'll wait
yes,
for her return. And I mean, if it's okay, I can start too.
yes, please go ahead,
Okay.
Mr. V. You.
No, because it's interesting, and our audience wants to know. Welcome back, Sister Mia. And so as we work with real life issues and the internet, we'll keep working it. So the nugget, it was nugget number 11 in the book. How rich are we to give back? And it was kind of a trick question because it's almost like trying to define what is rich. And it's the habit us humans have that we have to have something in our hands to give to someone. And we translate that into we must have money in our pocket in order to give someone because we always think, or many times we think, that someone wants financial resources. But if we stopped and asked ourselves the question, what is rich? What makes us rich? Then we will be able to answer that question. We'll be able to answer, how rich are you to give back? And so I think, and forgive me for this one, I think I have unlimited smiles. And so I think I'm rich in smiles. So if I'm really rich in smiles, I can give some back. And I think you guys will agree. And
Yes.
so I'm looking at, we have to define things. What is rich in order to say, are we rich enough to give back? Also, the second one I talk about is the greetings. I think I love greetings in many, many languages in many, many parts of the world. So if I have a lot of that, I can give it back unlimited. I'm rich in greetings. And if I was holding the door open for someone or holding the door of opportunity for someone, if I feel I'm rich with wisdom and rich with knowledge, I can give those things back unlimited. So we have to ask ourselves, how rich are we to give back? And Sister Mia is back.
Yes, Sister Mia, can you just tell us, I'm sure, in the most difficult moments as well, you have just been giving to all the community which is there, right in South Africa, going through a lot in the last few days. So I think you are no better person than yourself to tell us, how rich one needs to be to give back and what are the different ways to give back.
Absolutely. And as Mr. B said, everybody's definition of rich is very different. Some will say it as materialistic, others are just monetary related. When you go through difficulties in life, however, your life's experience itself can make you rich. It depends on your perception. So right now, if you look at somebody who's a car, in this flood that we've just experienced. That versus somebody who's lost an entire household, like as the house is gone, it all just weltered away with the flood. Those two, as opposed to someone who has lost somebody, a life, either a mother or a father or a child in the flood. If you look at those three different variances and you ask yourself, what wealth or what richness was attached to the value of the car versus the house versus the life, that alone would teach you what richness is about. Because that car might be replaced by insurance, that home will be rebuilt, but the person who's lost is never going to be replaced or come back. So for me, it's all about your life. It's all about experiences. It's all about what life's teaching you every day. And none of us know everything. We're lifelong learners. We learn as life goes by every single day. So when it talks about how rich are you to give back, for example, for me personally, my life's experiences taught me what I'm giving back today and what I teach to people, what I teach to women, what I teach to children. It's what I know because it's what I lived through, and that becomes now what I teach. So how rich are you to give back depends on how you would define it for you personally. But I think it's all about you and your perception of it, and that's what you give back. And that's why I do what I do, for example. But that threefold example of what I gave you is based on what I've experienced here. So when you look at it from that perspective, you can just understand richness is just really self-dependent in your perception.
Yes, absolutely. And I think to have this realization is very important, that giving freely, like even in The Art of Giving Back, Mr. B mentions that giving freely is actually giving back, and it's a act of happiness for oneself. But the realization, if it's not there within the person, no matter how much you're giving or whatever it is, you might not feel happy. If you're just like, oh, I need to just give this to give, I need to do this, I need to do that. It's not considered as an act of happiness. Oh yes, I will do this, and irrespective of whatever selfish joys I would get out of it or whatever, but I just feel nice. So one should feel that, one should realize that yes, it makes me and someone else happy. And of course, like you said, there's no need for just the money aspect to be there. If one has to be rich, it's much more than that. What do you have to say, Ms. Dedra? Ms. Dedra, are you
Okay,
there?
I'm unmuted now. Right.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm not home, so my environment is incredibly loud. I apologize for that. That's why I'm keeping mute until I have something to say. Well, I've just been absorbing everything you guys have been saying, and I couldn't agree more that, I have a lot of experience with this, actually. I mean, I think you guys know that I grew up with a father that put all emphasis on wealth, on material wealth. I mean, it was something he used as a tool for power, over me and my brother. And, I don't think he ever actually was happy having the money. He never really used it. He didn't go on vacations with it. He didn't buy any nice things with it. He didn't go to nice dinners and fancy restaurants with it or anything. I don't know why he even had it. Money and material things are really nothing if they didn't get you anything. They didn't get you
Right.
any joy.
Yes.
There was no happiness from that. I mean, my husband and I may not have a great deal of excess, wealth, but what we have, we know we've spent it on joy. I mean, we spend it on our family, we go out, we enjoy our life. If we've got a little extra, we're like, okay, well, why don't we have a big family dinner, and why don't we we get something special, and we enjoy our time together. Let's get some board games out and, enjoy each other's time at the table. This is rich. I feel like these things are the kind of things that make you rich. I mean, I have literally, I'm here in a country where I hate to say it, but the material wealth is highly emphasized, and I have met young ladies here who I can't ever forget one story. In case she ever listens to this podcast, I won't embarrass her or anything, but she knows herself, that she came to me unhappy, saying to me every day, oh, I'm going to the mall. I'm spending, last night I spent 10,000 dirhams at the mall. I bought, a number of items, but I only felt happy for about 5 minutes. And then I felt sad again. There's an emptiness there, and you're trying to fill it with stuff. They may have all the riches in the world sometimes, but you don't really feel rich, if there's a big hole in your heart,
Right.
and I think what I have may not be material wealth, but I have light. What I'm rich in is light. I have light energy, and that's what I give freely as much as I can when I'm around people. At least that's what I've been told, that I have a presence that makes people feel, uplifted. I'm funny. I make people laugh, and that I'm giving freely just all the time. And, and I just, hope that it makes, people around me feel a little lighter, because God knows life is hard enough, and heavy enough, that even just a chuckle now and then, or some feeling that somebody lightened your day, is good, right? It takes a little bit of the burden off.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
I really
So that's what I feel.
go ahead, Mr. B.
No, I was saying that we've covered quite a few of these nuggets, and all of them served a special purpose as we discuss them. We bring out and emphasize these purpose. And a lot of humans typically think about the philanthropists who have millions or billions of dollars and they should give back financially. Oh, glory, God bless their hearts when they do. Thank them so much. But many, 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 many of us in the world are not wealthy, and we are not considered philanthropists. And so on page 95 of the book, it says, you need not be a philanthropist to give back. We are all rich in heart, rich in love, rich in compassion, rich in humanity, which adds humility. We are all immediately rich because we have received a lot freely, like life and breath and smiles and happiness, even a rain shower or two, right? And so lots of smiles, lots of hellos, lots of doors being held open for us at different times. And so we all need to do, all we need to do here, the article on my book is saying, is to reciprocate. So with all these greetings and all these smiles and all these other things that, yes, philanthropists have them too, along with a lot of money, but someone who does not have one penny can still give back. That was the point. Someone who is very, very poor can give back, because why not have this joy? Why, if there's joy in giving, why doesn't everyone have the ability to get the joy? And it may seem selfish, but someone who has no money at all can be joyful because they gave back something to someone else, a smile, right? And so that's what that's what I'm talking about. That's what this particular nugget is about, to show that everyone can give something back and receive the joy of giving.
Well, did you know, Mr. B, that the Prophet Muhammad said that the cheapest form of charity is the smile?
I didn't know.
Prophet Muhammad himself said that. So
Okay.
you're right in sync. Yes, you are.
I believe in it. I have no shortage of smiles. No shortage of smiles. Even if somebody vexes me, I'll smile at them.
And may I just add to that, Islamically, even when you're talking about just pure financial gain, we believe that if whatever you give, God rewards you 10 times greater in value in some way or another. Whether it be cash or opportunities, or something will come along just by chance, and it's worth 10 times as much as you gave. So giving only increases your wealth. It does not decrease from your wealth. It doesn't take away. wealth. It
Even
actually makes you richer. So
even
we don't believe that it's
smiling makes
in
you
your pocket at all.
smiling makes you look younger. That's a good gift to give back.
That's true.
When
Absolutely.
you're so there's always a joy there, and in the Christian religion we talk about the law, and so when all the laws were fulfilled, there was one law left, and it was a law of love. And every time you give back, you're doing something loving, from the least one of us to the most one of us. And so yes, we are rich. All of us are very rich in something, and we have something to give. And that's what the biggest emphasis on this particular nugget.
Yes, absolutely. I think I would definitely second those thoughts. And then I was just thinking while you guys were talking that, on everyday basis, we are giving back so many things. We are helping someone. And as Ms. Dedra said, when we are giving something to someone, God gives us multifold of, whatever it is. It could be the same happiness. It could be something which we have been waiting for. It just comes your way miraculously. And then we are thinking, how come this happened to me? And that's when we realize that yes, could be. And for a minute, I just want everyone to just think, there are so many problems all of us have every day in our lives, but at the same time also remember that we are being able to go through it. This is the secret power which is helping us. This is what we have done for ourselves. We have earned people. We have earned the prayers of people. Maybe somewhere someone prayed for us, and then that has taken off the difficulty and kept us going, is what I strongly believe. And no matter what, it's you just give without thinking that when it's going to come back to you, it will definitely come back.
Very true.
Absolutely. And what is beautiful and what is amazing, I just want to chip in and say this, is that um, there's also the saying and there's a belief system I think everybody would have, not just us Islamically, that when you least expect it, you will get from the most unexpected sources. And that's
Yeah.
on your belief system. I know this firsthand because I am and was in a frame of where I never knew where it would come from. And yet I still had to see a client, I still had to face the child, I still had to see someone who could not pay me, but I needed to get the work done because it's the mind I'm working with. And myself and my resources were depleted, and we think, where is it going to come from? But you know what? I still have to do what I have to do for this person because they're reliant on me. And yet the creator in his wisdom knows that is the ultimate test. You don't have, but you have something to still give. Give what you have and are wealthy with. And that is my knowledge. That is what I can teach. That's what I can give. And by doing just that, he then sends me the help from an unexpected source. That alone is telling you, you will get it reciprocated. Will get it reciprocated. It's exactly what is in that book, Mr. B. So you don't have to expect where it will come from. You don't have to know it. Just believing that somehow it will happen because of you, because you are worthy, because you are good, and because you are worthy of it. It will come to you. So I love this because really wealth not by definition of money, is by definition of you and your being. And that is why we teach and we're doing. How rich are you to give back? The art of giving back is that I heal, for example, by healing somebody else. I just feel better when I make somebody else feel better. So we're doing that and you feeling good within yourself. That in itself is making me rich. It's making me wealthy. It's giving me the motivation to keep going. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's really.
And we want our listeners to know and the world to know that some people would like to put them into this definition, making them think they're poor. But we must realize how rich we are. And as we all come together and talk to each other, help each other, give back to each other, we're giving someone something that they value, that we value, and that makes us rich.
Yeah,
Samina?
absolutely. I just want to add one thing here. Today, what happened is in the afternoon, I had a call from a patient who was coming to our hospital. And we do have a system where we help patients who are not able to pay for their treatments through charities in UAE. So I'm the person, I'm fortunate to be the person who is helping these patients to connect with the charities. So the moment the lady started talking to me, it was for her friend, and she was diagnosed with cancer. For the first time, the doctor had just disclosed this, and then she couldn't speak directly, so she let her friend speak to me, where she was just by her side with her husband. And this friend of hers told me that, you know what, I don't think I will talk much because they are feeling embarrassed. They're a little shy about the entire thing. I said, 1 second. First of all, tell your friend or put it on speaker, let her hear me, that she must not feel embarrassed or shy about being diagnosed with cancer, because whatever it is, everything is given by God, by Almighty, and it will be taken also by Him, it taken away by Him, inshallah. So I told her the first up, that moment, it was like a moment of change for those two people sitting right there. And this friend of hers, she started uh, praying for me. She said, I'm so glad that you said this, my sister, that, my friend here, she was embarrassed to talk about it to people and she didn't know how to talk about it. She was requesting me not to tell too many people. I said, it's not a taboo for you to talk about it. Please go ahead, feel free to talk about it. And if she doesn't have anybody to talk to, she can talk to me, I told them. She can talk to me. And I really felt that, that moment I helped her come out of that shell which she was already building around her.
All right.
So it was that moment when I could actually give her that hope that yes, it's nothing bad to be diagnosed with cancer. It's okay. We understand it's not easy. It may be easy for us to talk, but then even that realization for that moment, if I hadn't told her that, could be that she would continue being depressed, adding to her pain. That moment was what I really gave back, and I felt very, very valued to have done that for her.
And you are very good at that, and which makes you very rich in your ability to make someone
Alhamdulillah.
feel better.
Yes.
Next week we'll have a guest speaker. Okay,
Yes.
what are we looking forward to? Another angle on the subject.
Yes, absolutely. We just came across this very simple human being in India who was known to my sister, and we see the way he gave back to many people there by helping them with their jobs and everything. His name is Mr. Praveen. So he's going to be on our show next week, and we just want him to be there because this is one example of where you don't need to be rich. He's not somebody who's like, very, very rich, or, he has a load of wealth in our bank balance in his thing. But he is one person who will not just stay there and watch the other people. In fact, every time he says that he should have enough, he believes that he should have enough to be able to give to others. This is his
Right.
statement. So I
Uh,
felt that, yes, no better person than him to speak about the subject. So we'll have
so
Praveen next. Yeah.
So we look forward to that, and Sister Mia, look forward to you, and Dedra. I mean, sometimes you help us because we cross connect definitions. So we
Yes.
do not need to be financially rich because we are already socially, emotionally rich. We do not need to be
Yes.
financially rich. And so as we keep clarifying that definition with our guest next week and any feedback we get, we look forward to coming on again. It was such a good meeting, you guys, today. And in
Great
this
seeing you guys too.
in this
Very
podcast,
good.
you may not always feel it, but you look marvelous. And I'm looking forward to always seeing you guys and being with you guys. I'll be leaving the Philippines because I'm still here in Cebu. I'll still be visiting another charity for abused children in Davao. And then I'll make my way home soon where we'll continue to podcast before I get back into the Middle Eastern region. So thank you all so much,
Wonderful.
Samina. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so
Great to
much.
see you
Thank you.
guys.
Yes, I'm
Good
very happy
topic
to
today.
see. Yes, I'm happy to see all of you once again because I was missing this
Yes.
last week, I think. Yeah.
and
Very
in,
awesome. And safe travel, Mr. B.
and indeed, I'm feeling even more rich because I will continue to give back this smile and I get back a lot of them in return. So thank you all and have a wonderful evening and we'll talk again soon.
Sure. Thank you.
Good evening.